right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Codo Bach Pitstop. Homestead was this weekend. We got a lot to talk about on the show. As always, I'm your host, Matt Lauterbach, and joining me from a brand new location, once again, the other side from the screen of me is
the co-host of the Codo Bach Pitstop, Patrick Codo, recording from the girlfriend's house. Actually, her parents are out of town. She's at work right now, so somebody has to watch her crazy dog.
well, crazy dog will stay asleep, hopefully, just
Yeah,
unlike
right now. Bruce is currently sleeping in his bed right now, but I won't be surprised if we get a nice little visit from him.
Yeah, we may end up getting a little visit from him, but the chaos was on full display at Homestead this week. We got a lot to talk about, Pat. But first, let's get into our paint scheme of the week. Who you rocking with? I think your girlfriend would definitely love this choice.
Of course she would. Well, considered all the paint schemes we had this week at Homestead, finally we saw a lot of nice paint schemes, but you can't go wrong about Tyler Reddick's scheme, the Beast car. Like that was a badass paint scheme.
Badass paint scheme for a badass move to win the race. Tyler Reddick got it done.
Many reasons why this track needs to be back in the championship route.
Exactly. It needs to be the final race of the season, just like it was previous years. All right, my paint scheme of the week. You hate the driver, but you respect the paint scheme. AJ Allmendinger's number 16 WWEX car that he ran for colleague. Obviously, that we've seen that with Trackhouse, with Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez. They have raced that car on occasion, but I love that color scheme. I love that design, and to see it on a colleague car was actually pretty fresh.
Color car schemes never disappoint, but I'm
No.
glad they took it the next level for this one. Obviously, we fucking hate AJ Allmendinger, but pretty cool scheme.
Pretty badass scheme to say the least. But Pat, silly season is still in full swing, and we have to look at Joe Gibbs Racing and their Xfinity side and ask what the hell is going on over there.
Yeah, what the hell is going on over there?
I have never seen a team bring in two of the rising young stars in Xfinity and in 1 year say, nah, we don't want to stick with you long term. Bye. Sheldon Creed and Chandler Smith were both brought there at the start of the season. Both had high expectations and they've performed pretty good. But Sheldon Creed is out the door after this year. He will be going to Haas Factory to their Xfinity program. And we just learned a couple days ago that Chandler Smith is out of his ride in the 81 car. And this is surprising. He does not have a place to call home for next year. He is currently on the lookout for a new ride, and he has been quoted saying he may have to stop racing. He may go back working for his dad.
I don't quite understand that move. I mean, Chandler Smith has been really consistent this year.
Yes.
I thought AGR would be a great opportunity from him, and now, yeah, like you said, he may not be racing again anytime soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully some team gives him a call soon, but where's the opening at? That's the problem.
That's the problem, because there's really
where's their good opening? Because a winning team is gonna definitely want to take the gamble on Chandler Smith. Like Chandler Smith, he ain't racing for no shitty team.
No. Chandler Smith is an accomplished driver. He ran so good in the Truck Series. He's had 3 wins in the Xfinity Series 2 this year.
So who's going to take his spot then is what I'm wondering. Or is it just going to be Sheldon?
I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening. We know that William Sawalich and Taylor Gray, they're moving up to Xfinity next season. Obviously, they have a lot of hype on them at Joe Gibbs Racing, but this is interesting because Chandler Smith, he has the sponsorship. He doesn't have the money, and obviously we know Brandon Jones is returning there. I guess, my feeling is that the money just kind of, outdoes the talent. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are in the sport. If you have the money to land yourself a ride and get these sponsors, teams are going to take you. That's why Brandon Jones has been so successful in terms of getting a decent ride, even though he doesn't have the talent.
I was just going to say he's got the money, but he doesn't have the talent.
Yeah,
And that's Matt, that's the unfortunate thing nowadays with sports and all this. Money. Everything's all about money.
everything is all about money.
You're seeing multi-million dollar NFL quarterbacks, multi-million dollar NBA players who don't do jack shit on the court,
Yeah,
multi-million dollar hockey players, multi-million dollar fucking multi-million dollar baseball players. The list just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. Like everything's about money nowadays, and it's just sad.
it is. Everything is just about money. And if we know anything about Joe Gibbs Racing and their Xfinity program, they're one of the best. But we've seen at times them just chasing after the dollar signs and wanting to only caring more about sponsors than they do talent, which is sad in my opinion.
Yeah, dollars and cents nowadays is literally
Yeah,
it's like the unfortunate thing. Like
yeah.
money's ruining everything.
It does. Money unfortunately does that. And I feel bad for Chandler Smith. He's a very good driver. Sheldon Creed made a very interesting statement this weekend, or
Just
not this
shows
weekend.
some favoritism, I guess.
It shows favoritism, but Sheldon Creed made an interesting statement after Darlington. He said he's literally not even making a dollar this whole season, which told you a lot about what happens at Joe Gibbs Racing and some of these teams.
Yes.
You know, you don't get paid to drive these cars. You have to pay to get these rides sometimes. And I feel for Chandler Smith, that goes the same way.
Yeah, it's just totally unfair and stuff. And
Yeah.
Creed, I mean, he's a driver that definitely deserves to be in a Joe Gibbs ride with how good he's been racing and how consistent he is. But
Yes.
it just shows that, the sign of favoritism, especially at Joe Gibbs Racing lately.
Well, and what was the reason for why Sheldon Creed left RCR? Favoritism. That
Favoritism, yes, 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 yes. I'll admit that.
Yeah, there
Uh,
was definitely a favoritism between him and Austin Hill. And then he goes to Joe Gibbs Racing, and sure, Chandler Smith has outperformed him this year in terms of wins, but I mean, they've both been on the same playing field. It feels like they've both been on
yeah.
equal terms.
But now Creed's going to Haas
Haas,
Factory, like Haas.
yes. Yep. He will be going to Haas Factory. Him and Sam Mayer will be teammates, but
So who's going to be at Joe Gibbs Racing next year then?
well, Brandon Jones is going back there. Him and
Oh,
JGR are
great.
reuniting. We knew that. William Sawalich and Taylor Gray will be moving up. They've driven William
So what
Sawalich.
does Joe Gibbs Racing see in those two? No offense to those guys, I think they're good, but what does he see in those two that they don't in Chandler Smith?
That's the thing that puzzles me. I can
I
see.
get, I get, I get, I know we're talking about money and stuff. And I'm like, come on, take a
Yeah.
risk on Chandler Smith,
Well, Chandler Smith, yeah. I mean, I can see why they would want to bring in those young drivers
especially with
because
how good he's been, especially with how consistent he's been lately.
yes, Chandler Smith has really had a good playoffs to his 2024 resume. And it just, I understand why they want to get William Sawalich and Taylor Gray in because they've both shown a lot of promise in truck and ARCA. They've had a lot of momentum and they want to get in and develop those drivers. But it would make more sense, in my opinion, to have somewhat more of a veteran presence like Chandler Smith around. I mean, Pat, I know
Right?
Brandon Jones has been around for a while, but do you really think he would be enough in developing William Sawalich and Taylor Gray into
No,
caliber? No.
no, I would choose Chandler Smith all day. And who the fuck knows if that's gonna happen?
Well, that may not happen, and it's a shame to see a guy like
Very shame, and who knows when Chandler Smith is gonna get another ride? Because I've been starting to like the guy lately.
he's growing on me. He is growing on me quite a
He's
bit.
growing on me too, and now he just gets hamstringed badly like this. I'm like, okay, fuck JGR.
Yeah, this just does not give JGR a
You
look.
as a Sheldon Creed fan now should be happy that he's going to another team now.
Well, me as a Sheldon Creed fan is happy that he's locked up with another team next season and, and is not in a situation.
How long is he locked with Haas is what I want to know.
It I don't know the specifics. I just know it's a multi-year deal. So
Good.
Sheldon Creed sees something there. Obviously, he's made it clear that he wants to go cup racing in the next couple years. I think he's more than capable of doing that, and Haas definitely gives him the opportunity to do that, considering that they're kind of starting over from scratch again, so to speak, especially on their cup
Right.
side. Their Xfinity
Yep.
program is obviously they've been one of the best with Cole Custer and Riley Herbst tearing it up. And now they get a reset with with Sheldon Creed and Sam Mayer going there, and Cole Custer driving their lone Cup Series team. And who knows, maybe they'll expand in a couple years, and one of those drivers could go Cup racing.
You hope that's the case.
You would hope that.
With how big expansions have been lately, I can't say I'd be surprised if that's the case.
We can't say that we can't be surprised about it, but this was something that we did not see was Chandler Smith not only leaving Joe Gibbs Racing, but
Not
also,
having a ride for next year.
yeah, very stunning, very shocking to see. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. You don't have, I mean, Chandler Smith, he comes from his dad runs a business. I don't know like what that exact business is, or he's very high up in a business, so he has money on his side, but unfortunately, this isn't enough like what Brandon Jones is making to bring in that type of sponsorship, and that sponsorship money.
Well, again, we know Brandon Jones has the money with, Menards, but
Oh God, you imagine how many times I see him on a monitor screen walking past my Menards.
yeah, don't forget about Ryan Blaney too.
Well, Ryan Blaney, okay, but Ryan Blaney's proved himself. Brandon
This is
Jones,
true. Has
Brandon Jones,
not.
yeah, he Brandon Jones has not
Yet
proved
he's
himself.
still in those fucking Menards commercials.
Well, again, why do you think that is? Sheer nepotism. That's just how
Yep.
it is. That is just how it is. Ryan Blaney, yeah, he got some of daddy's money, but he's no slouch. Not
No,
like
he's
Brandon.
not.
No, he is not a slouch at all. And Brandon Jones, just ever since he's gone to Junior Motorsports, I've liked him less and less every day. And I just imagine it's going to be the same when he goes back to Joe Gibbs Racing next year. I
Yep.
can really imagine that, but hopefully Chandler Smith will find a ride soon. I felt so heartbroken hearing his comments and hearing what he had to say at Homestead this weekend. It was just very it broke me to see, Sheldon Creed did the same thing. He's leaving a good situation at Joe Gibbs, not entirely of his choice, and we're seeing Chandler Smith start to do the same thing here.
Yep.
So, very interesting to see what's
It's
going
it's
on.
money, unfortunately. That's the reality nowadays.
Yeah, they all want that green stuff, which Chandler,
Multi-million-dollar everything.
yep, yep, multi-million dollars in all categories. That's what they want. But Pat, let's get into this weekend's race. We had a doubleheader on Saturday. It started off with the truck race in the morning. And oh boy, we already got some controversy brewing here between two of the somewhat back markers in the sport. Connor Jones, a young talent at Thor Sport, going up against Matt Mills, a veteran at Nice. And apparently, these two have had trouble on the track against each other this year and had boiled over early. I think this was,
Jones apparently tried to commit murder.
oh, he did. He admitted on the radio he was tired of it. And it's clear as day, turn three just punts Matt Mills. And, yeah, he punted him to the left, and Mills overcorrected to the right and just KO'd the wall. But still, that's egregious on Connor Jones right there. And that could have been worse because, as we learned after the race on Saturday, Matt Mills, taken to a local hospital for further treatment. He was shaken up, which was a very hard hit right into that wall. Um, and Connor Jones received a 2-lap penalty for aggressive driving after that, and it just really soured his image quite a bit. Really soured his image quite a bit.
Yeah, especially with how hard he punted Mills into the wall. Not only that, sent him to the hospital. Like, dude,
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's I again, we've seen it a lot before with some of these younger drivers, especially in truck and Arca. They use their cars like weapons, and they just do it to just,
Why do you think Arca and Truck have been a shit show lately?
well, and that's why, because again, Pat, you have a lot of these young rich kids who have
Apparently deadly weapons, if you want
yeah,
to be.
Yeah, deadly weapons, because as much as we don't want to admit it, these things can kill somebody if we get into a serious accident. And
Yeah, like sure the safety has been gone has been
improved.
proved, but that doesn't mean that a
Yeah.
driver could possibly get either seriously hurt or die.
Yes, exactly. And we saw that on Saturday with Connor Jones. And I'm curious to
And he
see.
was and he was bitching on the radio. I'm like, dude, do you have any
Yeah.
idea what you just did?
Well, and that's the dumb thing too. That's what NASCAR used. Like, okay, so yep, you're going your 2 laps penalty. That's exactly why they penalized him there, because that radio communication just gave all of them the evidence they need to be like, yep, sorry, buddy, you got to go back. And I'm curious to see if they use any of that against Connor Jones in any further way, because Pat, there's a chance he could face further penalties from NASCAR. He could be suspended the remainder of the season. He could be
Well, I
fined.
hope so. I hope so with that stupid move.
Yeah, and as he should be, because this wasn't on the level of Kyle Busch and Ron Hornaday back in Texas in 2011, but it's still a black eye.
That's a little worse than some Kyle Busch moves.
Yeah, that still is worse. I mean, I'd argue that's worse than what he did to Ricky Stenhouse in the All-Star race this year, because Ricky Stenhouse got out of his car. Ricky Stenhouse climbed out of his car after Kyle Busch punted him. He
Yeah,
was
and
okay.
fucking
Yeah, Matt Mills was sent to the
yeah. I'm
hospital.
looking at Matt Mill. Yeah, and his truck caught on fire too. I'm looking at the replay right now. God damn.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a bad scene all around.
Completely bad scene, completely unacceptable. That's the sad thing now about NASCAR and stuff. Just some stupid ass rich boys.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these kids, again, we've seen it, and we saw it a lot on display in the Truck Series Championship last year. Carson Hocevar, Corey Heim went at it. That was a battle of two kids who had a lot of talent, but are also using their cars like weapons and just driving into each other. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't get it. I really don't get it and stuff. And yeah, and there's reasons why I really don't watch the Arca series or Truck.
Exactly. This is what pushes me
Sometimes I
away.
forget. Sometimes I forget Arca is a thing, and that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
That's a good thing, especially with cases like this. I mean, besides the broadcasting that Fox has done with the Truck Series, which is the big reason why I can't watch it. The other reason I can't watch it is because we have a
Oh
lot of
well,
these.
Fox and NASCAR is atrocious anyway.
Well, yeah, as we know, but the
And
other.
of course, no offense to her, but Jamie Little needs to stay on pit road and not as a play-by-play.
Yes, Jamie Little, great pit
We love you. We
reporter.
love you as a pit reporter, but not as a play-by-play.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other big reason that's pushed me away. Nothing against Jamie Little. I like her as a pit
Well,
reporter. She's got a great voice
she's
for
she's
female.
great. She's great to talk to too. I met her at Auto
Oh
Club last
yeah, I'm
year.
I'm sure she's a
Yeah,
great person to
yeah,
talk to.
but she's better off as a pit reporter and not as a
Yeah,
play-by-play.
exactly. I feel the
I
same.
liked. I understand the experiment that NASCAR is driving, giving female reporters more opportunities, but
Yes.
there's a reason why most females are
Yeah.
a sideline reporters, or for other sports, courtside,
Yeah.
sideline reporters, dugout
Yeah.
reporters in baseball.
Yep.
Like
I respect the idea. I have
it,
nothing against it, but it just didn't work out.
it didn't work out. Keep Jamie Little in the pits.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be my vote. But yeah, going back to Connor Jones, this is just another reason for why I'm really concerned about the Truck Series and what would happen in the finale again at Phoenix in a couple weeks, because we saw it happen there last year. We've seen incidents
That
like
was a
this happen.
disaster.
Yeah, that was just a shit show of a display there, and we've seen this stuff happen in Arca before over the years.
Arca, they can't even go 2 laps without an accident.
Yeah, they just that's why they're an Arca series. That's why it's the Arca
You
series.
wonder what goes through the broadcaster's mind sometimes. They're like, oh boy, what are we going to see today?
Yeah,
Like, I
especially.
could tell just watching those races that, okay,
Mhm.
they're definitely being so positive as fuck that they don't even want to admit it.
Yeah, well, kudos to them. They're trying to put on a positive image, but still, there was nothing positive about what happened with Connor Jones and Matt Mills. Connor Jones,
Completely bad look for Jones.
Very bad look for a young driver trying to make his name in the sport. He's had some decent runs, but we've seen this happen this year at North Wilkesboro. He bitches out his pit crew on the radio over an accident. And then this weekend, just I understand him and Matt Mills may have had history with each other on the track, but that's still no reason to use your car as a weapon and knock somebody into the wall and send them into the hospital. That's not a reason at all.
Exactly. And he should
And
pay for the hospital bill,
well, he
not
did a
Mills.
he did apologize. He did release an apology and he wished Matt Mills the best, but still you got to do
That
a
won't
lot
do
more.
much,
You
unfortunately.
got to do more than that to sway people back to your
Nah,
side,
let's
buddy.
be real. Nowadays, apologizing won't even do much.
No.
So it's
Yeah.
not even worth it. Like,
No.
you're sorry, Connor, for what you fucking did. Sure, you are.
Well, I'm sure obviously he did not mean to send Matt Mills to the hospital. He did not anticipate sending Matt Mills to the hospital, but he still did, and it's not a good look for him at all. It's not a
Nope,
good
not at
look
all.
for him at all. But thankfully, though, right before the show, you did say Matt Mills was released from the hospital. That is good news. So,
Yeah, not too long ago, actually, maybe a couple hours ago.
well, that is still very good
I
news.
saw a video on Twitter. Yes, I'm still calling it Twitter.
Everyone's gonna call it Twitter, so no one's gonna
Fuck
call it
this X
X.
shit.
Yeah, no one's gonna call it X. Sorry, Elon, but um, yeah,
He'd be
I.
he'd be in trouble if he called it if it was triple X, if you know what I mean.
Oh God.
He'd
Oh God, yeah, we'd be in big trouble.
be
But
in big trouble, not
yeah,
us.
he'd be in big
We're just
trouble. I
using the
mean,
platform.
yep, yeah, we're just his platform users. We're just his customers. But anyways,
Yep.
Matt Mills thankfully out of the hospital. Good to see there. We hope for the best for him in his recovery. Hope to see him back on the track soon. But yeah, this was not a good look at all for Connor Jones, and hopefully NASCAR does something with this, either fine him or suspend him for the rest of the season because he deserves it.
If they don't fine him or suspend him, then it's just going to continue to show how big of a joke the sport is.
Well, I would like to think after what happened with Austin Dillon and Richmond earlier this year, I would like to think that NASCAR is going to be more tough on this and they'll do this more in the future. But
This year, if you know which race I'm referring to,
boy, yep, that race. Mm,
that race, the one that we were
yep,
at back in
y-
July.
yep, that race.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that one. But hey,
But
this
hey,
is
that fucker is still not quite locked into the championship four yet.
no,
So
no, but we'll talk about that in a second. We'll save the best for
yeah,
last, buddy. We'll save the
yep.
best for last. But yeah, sorry to Matt Mills. Hopefully he's good. And Connor Jones. Just you gotta mature more, buddy. You gotta mature more.
First of all, you two need to space out right now.
Yeah, give each other space and whatever
Because right
differences you.
now, Connor Jones, you are clearly not making friends right now.
No, clearly
Not
he's
after
not.
that stupid ass stunt you pulled.
Nope, nope. And I think he needs to just sit down and just take some time and reassess things. That's what he needs to do.
You hope.
You would hope, but you never know. But anyways, we had the rest of the truck race. After that, it was basically clean and green. That was the only caution in the race besides the stage breaks and winning the race. This was a shocker. We did not expect this at all. Was
I mean,
Grant
it's just
Enfinger.
I mean, this pretty much describes how wild the Truck Series playoffs are.
It does. This has subverted our expectations. We thought Corey Haim and Christian Eckes were going to be the class of the playoff field, and they've only won one race combined between both of them. Lane Riggs has won the first two, and then it was Grant, and then Corey Haim won one, and then Grant Enfinger won the last two. So this is just insane.
Well, right now, the championship four, that puts Grant Anfinger, Corey Heim, Christian Eckes,
I would say they are locked.
and Ty Majeski.
Ty Majeski he had a big weekend. Raja Karuth struggled big time at
Yeah.
Homestead.
Call
I
me crazy, Matt, but I wouldn't be comfortable putting Heim or Eckes as your main favorites. I think
no.
Enfinger he could seriously make some noise.
Well, Enfinger got screwed over in the championship race last year when
He
Corey
did.
Haim and Carson Osavar had their thing. Because if they didn't
Ooh.
take, yeah, because if Haim did not go for payback, then Enfinger would have won the championship. He would have won it all.
Exactly. And now Enfinger has a chance for redemption too. So yeah.
Yes.
Eckes and Heim, don't get comfortable.
Don't get comfortable because Grant Infinger is coming. He is on a tear lately. Ty Majeski is also looking up there, but I would say that those four, Pat, those are my predictions to make it to the final
Yeah,
four.
I'd say that as well.
Yeah, because I mean Corey Heim and Christian Eckes, they are very consistent. Ty Majeski, we go to a short track next weekend. We know how good he is there. Unless
So
something catastrophic happens, and Roger Carruth, Taylor Gray, Tyler Ankrum, or Nick Sanchez, who are all four of those guys are way far back. They're like, I mean, Raja's minus 22. That's the closest there is. So I,
yeah, and it's
yeah.
not looking decent.
No, it's not looking decent, but I would have to say that these four, Enfinger, Heim, Eckes, and Majeski, they would be my pick. They would basically, I feel, be comfortable making it to the final four. But we'll see. We've seen crazier things happen in
We
Martinsville.
have, so let's not get too comfortable.
Let's not get too comfortable, but they have a decent cushion. They have a very decent cushion in terms of getting into the final four. All right.
Yep.
And now let's move on to the second race of the day, the Xfinity Series race, which I know you are just giving me a big gleaming smile on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a specific driver that a lot of people said, and I'm looking at one of them,
Uh,
said that this man can only win on a super speedway. Is that right? Is that right?
you know what? I just want to clarify with you that is fake news. I would never make a comment about a driver who could dominate so easily on a non-super speedway track this weekend. I'm just messing with you. I'm just pulling here. I'm just pulling here.
I'm sorry, what? Are you sure you're not full of fake news?
I am pulling fake news here, and I am eating a helpful serving of crow this morning.
I think a lot of those fans are eating a lot of crows after this weekend.
Yeah, because this race subverted my expectations. Chandler Smith won the pole. His teammate Sheldon Creed started outside front row. It looked like it would be a JGR field day. And then we had him, Austin motherfucking Hill, a man who I have been rooting against since Martinsville of
Oh,
last
I
year
know.
for
I
good
know.
reason.
I know.
Um, Completely subverted my expectations and put together arguably his best race on a non-super speedway track in Xfinity. This man went on a tear. Won stage one and stage two, led the most laps in the race, and got around Cole Custer with just a few laps to go. And Austin Hill,
Cleanly. He won it cleanly. That was a
yeah,
definitely clean win by Austin Hill. All of his wins this year were clean.
yep, that was for sure a clean win. Austin Hill is moving on to the final four, winning this weekend at Homestead. And I've said a lot about Austin Hill on this show and other NASCAR platforms. I've called him a hack and a fraud because all of his wins have been either on super speedways or he's pulled off some fuel strategy to win, as he did at Vegas and at Pocono last year.
Hey,
But
they're still not super speedway wins.
they're still not super speedway wins, but still that's fuel strategy. Those races could have gone either way. But for this one here, this did not. This completely,
He
yeah.
he had a car. He
He
finally had a car.
he had a car and he got it done. And Austin Hill and that 21 team for Richard Childress Racing, they are going to the final four for the first time since Tyler Reddick won the championship back in 2019. So,
But again, man, like we were talking about earlier, this is why Homestead needs to be back in the championship format.
well, yeah, and we saw great racing in the Xfinity race and in the Cup race, which we'll touch on in a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
But Yeah, we saw some really badass racing here. I mean, they were going three wide with each other. Austin Hill and Cole Custer were dueling it out. And yeah, I mean, Cole Custer was leading late, but Austin Hill, he ran down that 00 car. And those were both of our picks to win this week. You had Hill, I had Custer. Um, and in this weekend's race, I mean,
Wait, I picked Austin.
yeah,
Wait,
you
I picked Austin Hill. I thought I picked.
no, I think you picked Austin Hill.
No, I picked him at Vegas.
Oh wait, no, I got it mixed up. Yeah, you did pick him at Vegas. But Cole
Fuck,
Custer,
I wish that flipped around.
Cole Custer I picked to win at Homestead this weekend though. And
Yeah.
I was looking,
Who did I pick? I think I picked Chandler Smith, if I'm correct.
well, Chandler Smith also had a good race too. But yeah, Cole
Yeah.
Custer was leading late and then with like 10 laps to go,
No,
Austin.
I picked Justin Allgaier.
Oh yeah, you did pick
I
Allgaier.
picked
Sorry.
Justin Allgaier because AJ Allmendinger finally got hot. So like Allgaier.
Yep. Yeah, and Allgaier kind of simmered down a little bit this weekend, but uh
He's still locked in. He's still in the championship four format right now. So
yeah, yeah, he is. But this championship four format is not at all what I thought it would be like for Xfinity when the playoffs started. Austin Hill locked in, AJ Allmendinger locked in, and Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer, they are currently in based on points. Justin Allgaier 35 to the good, Cole Custer 28 to the good. But we got some hungry guys at the back. Chandler Smith is minus 28. He is in fifth. Jesse Love minus 35 and sixth. Sam Mayer minus 47, and his teammate Sammy Smith is minus 95. Good God. That's, yeah. He needs
yeah.
to have a good weekend in Martinsville. He needs
Basically
to win.
the drivers below the cut line right now pretty much need to win and they're in.
Yeah, they need to win and they're in. But I mean, Pat, we've seen chaos in the recent Xfinity races at Martinsville. We have seen utter chaos there the past 2 years at Martinsville.
Well, for Xfinity, yes. Cup,
Yeah,
I mean, short track
that's what I
package is
mean. Yeah, for Cup.
ass.
Yeah, for Cup. For Xfinity, I am really excited for this race on Saturday to see what happens because there's going to be something I feel that happens chaotic wise to get into the final four. And
Yes, I have that feeling.
I do have that feeling, but the chaos probably won't involve Austin Hill because unlike the previous
Well,
2 years,
he's into the championship, so if he wrecks, there's
yeah,
there's
yeah,
he's fine.
he's fine. I mean, the previous 2 years, he's got into something in Martinsville. He was eliminated and he was involved in a lot of controversy there. Obviously, him decking Myatt Snyder in 22, and then last year,
Okay, but
him,
he gave Myatt Snyder multiple warnings before he
he
laid the
did.
wood.
He did. He did. And then last year, him and Sheldon Creed,
Last year, him and Creed just butted heads, unfortunately.
yep, yep, they were going for it, and it resulted in utter chaos. And this year, I we could see more of it. We could definitely see some more of it happening. And I am very excited to see how that all plays out this weekend.
Yep, so am I.
But kudos to RCR and Austin Hill. You guys, I have been critical of you guys every single show this year, and you proved me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
I, I
yeah.
have to.
We keep receipts nowadays, Matt.
You keep receipt nowadays, and clearly you watched this podcast to hear enough of what I said. I was bullying you and beating you down, and you just
I
rised
had
up.
that text ready when Austin Hill took the lead. I had that text
Oh,
ready.
I was expecting it. I was fully
I had it
expecting it.
ready. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah, you were just waiting. I could just imagine you licking your chops for that moment. I was like, "Yep, this is what's going to happen. I talked shit on the show and I deserved it." So,
well, we
that
all talk shit and get fired back, so it's all good.
yep, that is exactly how it works. That's how the world works. But remember everyone, bullying works because if it wasn't for me saying all that stuff, Austin Hill wouldn't have won this weekend.
And
um
there are some worse fans out there too than Austin Hill fans. Let's not forget Chase Elliott fans are pretty much the worst out there.
yeah, but you're a reasonable Chase Elliott
Yeah, I
fan.
am a reasonable Chase Elliott fan, and
Yeah.
oh my god, he was so close yesterday.
Yeah, let's get into that. The Cup Series race at Homestead. This race had Tyler Reddick on pole leading, and your guy Chase Elliott almost had a heart attack on lap one. Justin Haley and Ricky Stenhouse, two guys we did not think would start in the top 10 for this race, tangled on lap one. Haley cut down across Stenhouse going into turn three. He spins out the 7 car, and Chase Elliott came within inches of clobbering the 7 car.
Pretty much being back, pretty much. He's already in a win and in situation, but safe to say he would have been officially eliminated.
Yeah, that's he would have to dig himself out of a major hole next weekend at Martinsville if that were to happen. But Chase Elliott averted disaster early and was able to continue on. Tyler Reddick basically dominated stage one, and then later in stage one, our guy Kyle Larson, who we all love on this show, um, he had a flat right rear tire in turn two when he was riding the outside. His car looked like it was struggling, then it just blew out, and he smacked the wall pretty good, bringing out the caution
Why do you think we call Kyle Larson checkers or wreckers?
because of shit like this. And Kyle Larson has had a very up and down playoffs.
Now we just need one more bad race from Larson, then we don't have to worry about him.
We won't. That's true. We won't have to worry about him. But yeah, Kyle Larson said some stuff that I felt was pretty insightful of the new car. I got to pull up the quote here, but he went on a rant on his radio yesterday.
When does he not go on a rant? Anytime something happens to Larson, he always goes on a rant.
Well, Kyle Larson basically, here I got it. He basically said, these fucking cars are stupid. You get a flat tire, wear out a little of your diffuser, and your race is ruined. Obviously I don't like Kyle Larson, but he's not wrong. We've seen this happen a lot with these cars. They are fragile.
Oh yeah, yeah. These cars suck. We saw what happened in the first year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we saw it happen when these cars spun and had a flat tire. They couldn't drive back properly. It ended up damaging more of the car. And that's just the thing that I feel NASCAR has got to work on, with fixing some of these cars.
Yeah, this next gen car still has,
yeah, a lot to be
these
desired.
next gen cars still have some work to be figured out.
They do, but the racing this weekend was ultimately pretty good. But
very good. And again, why is this championship not back at Homestead? NASCAR, if you're hearing us, if you ever stumble across this podcast, please, for the love of God, in 2026, bring back these two locations.
Well, we'll get to that because we do have some stuff to talk about that after the race that I did see something posted. So Tyler Reddick dominated. He won stage one. Stage two commences, and your guy, Chase Elliott, this is the best he's looked in a while. He shot out of a cannon and took off in stage two, and he led a lot of laps. Chase Elliott has been consistent this year, but he hasn't been leading much, and we haven't seen him this dominant in a while.
No, we haven't. And he won the second stage yesterday, right?
No, it was Denny.
Okay, yeah, okay.
It was
Denny. He was so close to winning the second stage, and apparently that would have been his first stage win he won since Daytona.
Yeah, he's only won his only stage win this year was at the Daytona 500.
The opening stage at Daytona.
Yeah, that's insane. But it's also
I was there for that.
You were there for that. That's insane how consistent that 9 car has been. Only have one stage win and make it all the way to the round of 8. It's incredible that what they have done with that car. But Chase Elliott and his spotter, they had a very eventful stage 2 because as we saw in the race yesterday, the spotter's nest was a bee's nest yesterday.
Yeah, where the fuck are all these bees coming from?
I have no idea, but I have never seen a bee infestation on the spotter stand at a NASCAR race before.
Neither have I, but sheesh.
Yeah, and Chase Elliott's spotter basically was saying, you may be on your own here a bit, man. I gotta move. I gotta move and find a spot where there aren't any bees. And Chase Elliott, that was all happening as Chase Elliott was trying to hold off Denny Hamlin for the lead. And that was... I got home from work last night and saw the race, and I just couldn't get over how many bees were over there, and that basically no one got I'd be amazed if no one got stunned from all that.
I mean, I hope nobody got stung, but yeah, those fuckers are everywhere.
Yeah, those guys, those little pricks, they were everywhere. So stage two, Denny Hamlin did get around Chase Elliott, and he got the stage win. Denny Hamlin was my pick to win at Homestead this past weekend. Stage three commences, and we had some good hard racing. Chase Elliott was leading again for a bit. Ryan Blaney was leading up there for a bit. Denny Hamlin was also up there. We saw some pit strategy being played out towards the end. Drivers were trying to get gas up on fuel, and everything began to get a little crazy. Tyler Reddick led for a little bit. He came down to pit road to get some fuel and some tires. And then, with just 12 laps to go, this changed everything in the race. Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson, who came back from the accident, they were battling for the lead going into turn three. They came up on the lap car of Austin Dillon, and Kyle Larson tried to go through the middle and got himself into a three wide situation that didn't work and spun out in turns three and four, bringing out the caution that would basically change the complexity of the race.
Yeah, talk about good timing on Tyler Reddick's part.
Tyler Reddick came to pit road just in the nick of time because they called it on the broadcast after that spin. Jeff Burton and Steve Letarte said it perfectly. He's in the catbird seat now. Tyler Reddick is in the catbird seat because he came to pit road, got fuel, and right after he left, that caution came out, which forced the other drivers in a very difficult position.
Yeah, and a lot of them came into pit road after that.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
Larson also didn't have a good pit stop either. What was like 11 seconds on that?
Yeah, that five team, their pit stops have really been off. They had an off weekend in Vegas that put them down a couple laps, and then this weekend more of the same at Homestead. It's just really interesting to see what's been going on with that five team in the playoffs and how that much they've been struggling.
And everybody says Kyle Larson's a lock to win the championship.
Well, Kyle Larson,
Well, right now he might not be. He might not even make it.
he may not. He may not even make it, as you said, but the race restarted. We had, I think it was like a 7 lap shootout to decide it all. It was Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. They led the field back to the green, and Tyler Reddick was charging. He was closing in on a hurry, and it was basically a three-way battle for the win. Drivers took the white flag. Ryan Blaney was in the catbird seat. Tyler Reddick was gaining up to the back of him, and Denny Hamlin was right there waiting in the wings, hoping these two would tangle and get together. And coming into turn three and four, Ryan Blaney had the lead, but Tyler Reddick just slingshotted on that outside lane, just shot out of a cannon in that 45 car and just zoomed by Ryan Blaney to take the lead. And with an insane last lap, last corner pass, Tyler Reddick won the race at Homestead yesterday, barely edging out Ryan Blaney. Pat, this is what we need with NASCAR. I mean, this is a game seven moment for sure, but this is a clean game seven moment here. A lot of these other game seven moments from NASCAR have just been chaos.
Yes. It's been. I don't even know what to say. That was clearly a good game seven moment.
Yeah, that was, and there was no bumping, there was no rough driving. It was just three drivers going for the win and one using an insane move to get around the other two and propel himself to the win. And Tyler Reddick, we both had him off our final four for the playoffs, and he kept the
And
receipt on us.
now,
Now he's in.
will he win it though? I don't know.
I don't know if he'll win it, but
I don't know with how the racing's been at Phoenix. I don't know.
I don't know, but
Especially when there's a specific someone that's locked into the championship that for some reason, somehow, some way, does good in the even years. He drives yeah, so he drives. I'm gonna go home alone. I'm gonna go home alone mode on this. His some ugly yellow, no good Pennzoil 22 car.
and he still lives rent free in your head.
It's rent free in all of our heads, dude.
He does live rent free in my head, but there is hope to beat him. Hopefully, we'll see. But Tyler Reddick will challenge Joey Logano in the final four at Phoenix. So even your Joey Logano has some competition going against him.
Yeah, and taking a look at the standings right now for the championship four, it is Logano, Reddick,
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Bell,
Yep.
and William Byron.
Well, I would
Those
not
are
be.
those are four good damn drivers in the championship.
Those are four really damn good drivers, but I would not be comfortable with William Byron at +7. I
Yeah, because we're coming to a Hendrick playground this weekend.
Well, we are going to Hendrick Playground, Martinsville. He won there back in the spring, but still being up, that was a regular season race. This is the playoffs now. That team needs to go out there and perform. And there are some drivers below the cut line that may have some stuff to say about it because all four of the drivers below the cut line have also won at Martinsville before. Kyle Larson.
They have one at Martinsville. Kyle Larson, Danny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and
Mm-hmm.
a specific and a man who drives the number 9 car won here before actually in this situation,
Yeah.
Mr. Chase Elliott.
Yep, he won here before in this situation to get to the final four. Ryan Blaney has also won here before in this situation to get himself to the final four. Denny Hamlin has
Ryan
won
Blaney
here.
pulled that last year.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean Denny
Danny
Hamlin.
Hamlin,
Yeah.
when was the last time he won here?
Shit, it's been a while. I think it's been a while. I think it's what was it? Uh, it's been a few years, but Denny Hamlin is no slouch at this place. He loves this track. So Denny Hamlin.
Yep. I mean, he almost won here in 21, but
Yeah.
a
Uh, spe-
specific,
yeah.
a specific hack knocked him out.
Yeah. A hack took that one away from him
Here we
then.
go. Here we go. Denny Hamlin, the last time he won at Martinsville, and dude, we're going way back in time, actually.
It's further than I thought it was.
March of 2015.
That's such a long time ago for how
Yeah.
good he
And
runs
we know
here.
we know who won the fall race that year.
Hey, that was my guy. Big Daddy Jeff Gordon. He
My
won.
guy too.
Hey, there you go. Jeff Gordon. He was my guy back then.
Even though he did you dirty at Indy this year.
Yeah, but to be fair, that was a big thing. It was like, you know, I wanted to get his autograph. There were tons of other people getting there that wanted a picture and autograph with him. It was just, I need to meet him at like some PR event or something that Hendrick Motorsports does.
Or he just randomly walks into a bar one night.
Yeah, the likelihood of me randomly walking into a bar with Jeff Gordon. But
Hey,
I'll get that picture and autograph with you one day, Jeff. You stiffed me at Indy, but no hard feelings. I'll
it's
get that.
okay. Chase Elliott kind of stiffed me at Auto Club.
Yeah, that happens. We all had that moment,
And we all
especially.
know what happened and we all know what happened after that.
Yep. Yeah, we all know how the rest of his season went for him after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Martinsville, this is interesting because yeah, the cars don't handle as well as they used to on the short tracks, but these are four drivers who all very much so have a shot to win because of their past history here.
Yep.
I mean, Danny Hamlin, I wouldn't.
Oh, Joey Logano's won here. Christopher Bell's won here. William Byron just won here in the spring.
The only guy in the playoffs who has not won at Martinsville is Tyler Reddick, who won yesterday.
Yeah.
And Reddick doesn't need to worry about winning at Martinsville this weekend because he's already
No, he's
locked in.
fine. He's fine.
Yeah,
He can wreck it. He'll be fine.
yeah, exactly. He can wreck out and he'll be fine. He's locked in. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting here. I could see William Byron winning and keeping his spot, but I could also see one of these guys below the cut line winning and advancing their way to the final four. It'll be interesting, but I could definitely see it. So,
For
Pat,
sure. And then Martinsville will consider with some of the racing we see,
yeah.
the racing we've seen in Martinsville. We could be in for a surprise this weekend.
We could very well be, but
I mean, sure, the Bristol night race definitely disappointed, but
well,
I don't know.
Martinsville is
We've seen some interesting races at Martinsville.
Martinsville is different than Bristol, and it being the cutoff race
I'm
before the
sure the car's debut on Martinsville didn't go well, but
yeah.
some of the racing has been interesting. So I
Hmm.
think we could see a
Yeah.
this one could be a game 7.
Could be a game 7, but Pat, 2 playoff spots for the final 4 are locked. Who are the other 2 drivers that you see advancing? Christopher Bell plus 29, William Byron plus 7. Do you see them staying there, or do you see someone knocking them out?
See Bell staying there.
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna come back to that when we go to our race picks.
Oh, okay. You know what?
I'm
I
gonna
see.
I'm gonna revisit that when we get to our race picks
I
for the cup.
see. I
If you know what
see.
I mean.
I see the vision, and you know what? I like that move. I am going to do the same thing with as you did. I am going to hold that until the cup pick.
Yeah, hold that. Yeah, hold that for our Cubs picks. But Christopher Bell, I for sure see him going moving on.
I can definitely
It's
see him.
it's
Yeah.
that last spot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's that last spot. And
I
we
have
are
a
going to hold off because there are too many good because the 4 that are below the cut line,
yeah.
4 pretty fucking good drivers.
Yes, they are very, very freaking good. So let's preview next weekend at Martinsville. Again, a full weekend of racing. Friday night action. We have the truck race at Martinsville, 200 laps for the zip by now, pay later 200.
Oh, the zip by shit show 200, you mean?
God, with how some of these drivers race in truck, yeah, I could absolutely see it. But Pat, the carnage will start Friday night. Who you got winning for trucks?
It's a good question. Oh, fuck. It's a great question. Man, that is a great question. You know, Trucks has been, call me crazy, but Trucks has just been hit or miss this year.
It really has, really has.
Well, fuck, I didn't realize Grant Enfinger won 2 straight races this year.
Yeah, you did,
2
you
straight
did.
playoff races, Talladega. See, but the truck race playoffs being all spaced out just throws you off at
It
times.
does, yeah, it does. It's just really wonky how they do all of that. It is very
Yeah.
wonky.
I'm gonna go with someone that's below the cut line, actually.
Oh, roll of the dice. Okay, who you got?
And I, Mr. Matt, am gonna roll the dice with Taylor Gray.
That is bold. That is very bold. Taylor Gray.
Hey, you want chaos? Let's go with fucking Taylor Gray.
All right. We'll take some chaos here. Okay. You know what? I am also going to go with
Let me
a
just say that all my picks are drivers below the cut line.
okay. You know what? I'm going to go a bit risky as well here. This guy, I'm going to pick the new short track king in the truck series. You may think it's Ty Majeski. I am going for someone else. Um, this man has come alive, and this is going to subvert a lot of your expectations. He is not in the playoffs. I am going to go Mr. Lane Riggs.
Let's go.
Yes, I am going Lane Riggs for Martinsville. He ran so good here back in the spring before he got caught up in an accident. So I'm picking him.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to be more racy come next season. I'm calling it. All right, so Lane Riggs is my pick. Taylor Gray is yours. That is very bold, but I respect it. So next up, the next day, Saturday afternoon into early evening, we have the Xfinity race, the National Debt Relief 250. This race has been nothing but chaos the past 2 years. Ty Gibbs wrecking out Brandon Jones to win it in 22. Last year, the RCR teammates knocking each other out of the playoffs, and Justin Allgaier stealing one. Pat, we know chaos is going to be around the corner in this race. Who do you have winning?
Like I said, I'm taking drivers below the cut line. This driver just went through a lot of shit lately, but he's gonna race and just throw a big fuck you to JGR. Give me Chandler Smith.
Oh my God. I love it. I love that
He's
pick.
gonna throw a. I'm gonna have. He's gonna throw a big fuck you at JJR Chandler Smith. You're gonna kick my ass out? Okay, and then I'll throw a big fuck you and say, "You gonna kick me out now?"
I love
Chandler
it.
Smith.
I love it. I love the pick. Chandler Smith runs so good on the short tracks. I can definitely see him doing some damage here at Martinsville. I like the pick. All right, I see that. I am going to go another JGR driver who has come oh so close so many times at this track. He's finished second the last two fall races here, still looking for that elusive first win. And like Chandler Smith, he is also going to be throwing the double bird to JGR's way. Yeah, he's not in the playoffs anymore, but you know what? What a better way to send it out with a win. Give me Sheldon Creed.
That name is him. You picking him to win, even though he's out of the playoffs. That just
Hey,
love
hey,
the Renfrew.
people. Hey, this is a Martinsville is one of his better tracks. That's
This is true, and he almost won last year before the controversy.
yeah. He was second to Ty Gibbs when Gibbs spun out Brandon Jones back in 22. He loves this track. So Sheldon Creed is this is a sneaky good track for him. Do not bet against him.
Nope.
So and he ran really good here back in the spring. So he can really do some stuff here. But I'm gonna go Sheldon Creed. I don't think he'll stir up any controversy this time, but
Nope.
he's going to be in the mix. I can for
Yep.
sure see him being in the mix. All right, and then next up, this is the one that you were foreshadowing some excitement with us on this pick. We have the Cup Series race on Sunday afternoon at Martinsville. Oh boy, Pat, this is going to be fun. I am really looking forward to this one. Last year, Ryan Blaney held off Denny Hamlin and was able to win that one. This race here, I'm trying to get the name of it pulled up. It's the Xfinity 500. Ryan Blaney won last year to advance himself into the Final Four and win the championship. 2 years ago, we saw Ross Chastain pull the Hail Melon to get
We
himself
did.
into the Final Four. Um, who you got? You alluded something big to us. I want to see it.
I did lose something big to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously a driver that's won here before.
Oh boy.
He's raced good here before.
Oh boy.
We also said this is the Hendrick Playground.
Oh boy.
He had a great run here back in the spring.
Oh boy.
He had to win here in a great race at Homestead.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You go back to 2020. He also had a great race at Homestead.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We are going with Clyde. That's right.
I know his name.
Old Clyde. William Clyde Elliott. Yep, I had to go that name. Chase Elliott is going to punch his ticket to the championship four. He's been in a situation before. He's going to fucking do it again.
Oh boy,
And
man.
he's going to take that final playoff spot.
Man, all the Chase Elliott haters right now, they are pulling receipts on Pat right now at this moment. They are just sifting through everything he just said the past couple minutes here. But I like the pick. That is such a bold pick, but you know what?
There's legit evidence why I have reasons why I picked him.
Hey, that's a bold pick, but I love it.
Kyle Larson is struggling. Denny Hamlin is struggling. Ryan Blaney is struggling. Chase Elliott has slowly been picking it up. And if he didn't get involved in that wreck at Vegas, he would have been a top 10 finish.
He probably would have, and he probably would not be in the situation right now that he's in. But he has stared death in the mouth before, and I can definitely see him doing that again. I like the pick. It's bold, but I love it. And he did run really good here back in the spring. So
Yep.
led a lot of laps in the spring, and then he went on to win the next race at Texas, which you and I were watching.
We all know how that ending went.
Oh, yeah, we all know how that ending went as well. All right. You know what? I am also going to go a guy below the cut line. Pat, I mean this in no personal way at all, but you know what? He did win me back a little bit at Homestead. I know he's been struggling quite a bit, but we go to a track that he is hungry to win at again. He's won here so many times before. He is looking for redemption from last year. He is going he said it before. This is his year. And you know what? He's below the cut line right now, but this is his opportunity to go into Martinsville, a track that he knows so well, and get it done. And you know what? I said it last week, and I'll say it again. He's going to beat all of your favorite drivers.
Oh,
Give me.
what do I have against Denny? What do I have against Denny?
Hey, I'm just saying because Chase Elliott and Denny, this track brings up a lot of bad memories for them.
Okay, that was in 2017, though.
Still, still, that is fresh for a lot of people. Some people don't want to
I
admit.
know, but I'm over it.
I know, and I'm past it too, but they still don't like each other. Obviously, they've still had their beef. But Denny
Yeah, Chase tried
Hamlin,
to murder him last spring.
yep, yep, that did happen. But hopefully they've moved past it. But Denny Hamlin is my pick to win at Martinsville this weekend, and he's going to take that momentum into Phoenix. I think he's learned a lot from last year. I think he had a nice bounce back race at Homestead, get himself back into the conversation a little bit. And again, he's 1 year before. He can absolutely do it again.
Let's go. I
Mm-hmm.
like it.
Yep. So Denny is my pick to win. Oh boy, Martinsville, I think it may be a better race than most people are talking about because it's a playoff race.
Still, though,
Yeah.
get the championship board back to Homestead Miami.
And speaking of which, Pat, we got to actually talk about that. So I
Yes.
did see there was something I saw last night on Instagram after I got done watching the race. I'm trying to pull it up here. So according to Bob Pockris of Fox Sports, Homestead Miami Speedway is working on bringing the championship race back to Florida in 2026. Obviously, we know the track is moving up.
There's two tracks I want to see back in 2026.
Mhm.
I want the championship board back in Homestead in Miami. And I think you know where I'm going with this one.
Yep, I know exactly where you're going with
I
this.
want to see that racetrack back in Joliet in 2026.
Hey, with how these cars handle, I would love to see a race at Chicagoland Speedway. I think it'd be really good.
Fucking reason why you're having the Chicago Street Course.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like the street course race, but I mean, come on. The cars handle really good on these tracks.
That was pretty fucking cool, though. I'm not gonna lie. Walking on Lakeshore Drive, I never thought I'd be walking on Lakeshore Drive.
No, no, no one ever thought they did, but yeah, I Kansas, with how we've seen these cars handle at Kansas, Chicagoland is a very similar track to Kansas.
Kansas is the sister track of
Yeah.
Chicagoland.
Yeah, they're identical. So I think Chicagoland Speedway, with how the cars handle there at Kansas, they would be really racy at Chicagoland Speedway.
Oh,
But
yes.
yeah, the Homestead is working. They're trying to bring the championship race back to the track in 2026. The race obviously is going to be run in the spring in 2025. That is because the city and the track, they are going to be making some renovations. So they're moving the race up to the spring. So it allows them the time to do necessary renovations to the track and the nearby city. So South Florida could be seeing a championship race for NASCAR return in 2026, which if it happens, please do. I don't want to see Phoenix being the championship race after
Yeah,
next
the
year.
racing at Phoenix has not been the best.
No,
It's been terrible.
The racing at Phoenix has been horrible, especially with these cars. But you know what? I, you know what? NASCAR, they put on a good show at Homestead. I would love to see it happen there. I would really like to see it
Please.
happen there. Yes. All right. Pat, that's going to take us to the end of our show. But before we sign off for the week, we got to get to our winners and losers of the week. Pat, who are you going first?
My winner of the week, I think I'm going to steal your picks. Tyler Reddick as my winner of the week.
Okay.
My loser of the week, Ryan Blaney.
Ooh, okay. All right, that's pretty fair. Ryan Blaney is minus 38. He needed that win to secure himself into the next round.
He had it locked, and then nope.
Yep.
Let Tyler Reddick come right by him.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick just shot right by him out of a cannon there. Oh man. Um, well, yeah, for my winner of the week, boy. You know what? I'm gonna hate myself with this pick, but my winner of the week, it's Austin fucking Hill. I hate myself saying that. I hate because you know what? You stole my winner of the week pick. You rat bastard. You stole my winner of the week pick. It was going to be Reddick, and then you took it right from me, just like Austin Hill took all of the criticism I said and just used that against him. You know what? So yeah, Austin Hill, you're my winner of the week. And you know what? This loser of the week is going to make you laugh. I have a couple honorable mentions here before I start. My first loser of the week. Unfortunately, it's Chandler's. Well, my first honorable mention for loser of the week. Unfortunately, Chandler Smith is one because he's out at Joe Gibbs Racing and we don't know where he'll be going next year. It sucks for him, but to not have a ride set up for the future, that's very interesting for a driver of his
Yeah.
caliber. Another honorable mention I had was Connor Jones for the shit he did with Matt
Oh, he should
Hill.
be an automatic loser of the week. I don't know how he's not your top.
Well, you know what? Because this top loser of the week pick is very much so deserving. Because I said a lot of shit about Austin Hill, and I have to take it all back with all the stuff I've said through the course of this podcast so far. My loser of the week is the person right here that you guys are looking at on your screen, Mr. Matthew Lauterbach. I am the loser of the week for this show for ever saying anything bad about Austin Hill and the stuff that he did before this weekend at Homestead. I am eating crow. You know what? I hate it. I can't stand it. I don't like him, but you know what? I gotta do what I gotta man up here and bite the bullet and just admit when I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
you do.
Admit when I'm wrong. So that is why Connor Jones is an honorable mention for my loser of the week. I am the loser of the week for myself. Yeah, clap it up. Clap it up. I hate this. I hate this so much,
Hey,
but
you're the one that talked all that shit, man.
I did. And this is what I deserve. I reap what I sow, and he is clap happy right now. He's like Jason Garrett on the other side of the screen here, just going, yeah. But you know what? It's deserving. I've
It
said
is
so much.
deserving.
It is very deserving, and I have to, I have to eat my healthful serving of crow this morning or this afternoon. All right. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Codo Bach Pit Stop. Thank you so much again, everyone, for watching. Final four, we'll find out who it is after this weekend at Martinsville. Should be a fun weekend of racing. Thanks again for watching. As always, I am Matt Lauterbach, the loser of the week, and joined from me across the screen.
The winner of the week, the co-host, Patrick Codo.
Yeah, you're the winner of the week. You are the winner of the week. So, all right. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next week.